With the ceasefire in effect since noon local time yesterday, Friday, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have been returning to their homes in northern Gaza and to Gaza City. These are people who fled the area either ahead of or during the Israeli offensive that has been trying to seize and occupy Gaza City over the last several weeks and months. These people, when they left Gaza City, many said at the time that they felt that they were never going to be able to go home. That's because they felt that the city would be destroyed. And indeed, many areas, many neighborhoods on the outskirts of Gaza City have been completely flattened, according to satellite imagery. But they also perhaps thought that they would be permanently displaced. So now that they're going home, there is a profound sense of relief. However, many are going home to find their homes ruined and their neighborhoods destroyed. Once the ceasefire came into effect on Friday, the clock began ticking down on the 72-hour deadline Hamas has to release the Israeli hostages, all 48 hostages, including both the living and the dead. However, we do understand that there may be some flexibility on the timeline for Hamas to release all of the bodies of the deceased hostages, because some, we understand, may be hard to access because they are perhaps buried under rubble with so much of Gaza destroyed. On the handover of the living hostages, we're getting more information there. We understand that they will be handed over by Hamas to the Red Cross in Gaza. The Red Cross will then hand them over to Israeli forces, who will take them to Israel, and they will go to specifically designated hospitals for treatment. And we understand that unlike all previous hostage releases, there will be no ceremonies organized by Hamas. There will be no spectacles, and it won't be televised. Now, once all of the hostages have been released, then Israel will release Palestinian prisoners in return. These include some 250 so-called security prisoners. These are people serving life sentences in Israeli jails and accused of violent offenses. We understand Hamas was pushing for some of the highest profile prisoners to be released. However, Israel rejected those names. They will also return some 1,722 people who were detained in Gaza since the war began, including 22 children. Now, another key part of this agreement is that large amounts of aid is expected to enter Gaza. Some 600 trucks of aid are expected and meant to enter Gaza per day. 600 trucks of aid per day is the amount that the international aid community says is needed to meet the needs of the people. The United Nations and other aid organizations say they are standing by to flood Gaza with aid. However, we heard from UNICEF this morning, and they said that so far the main crossings into Gaza have not been opened. And they say that once those crossings are opened, they need to be operated in a way that can allow such aid to flow in quickly. There is some good news on the horizon. We understand that the Rafah crossing between Egypt and Gaza will open on Tuesday. That's according to Italy's defense minister. And the Rafah crossing has been closed for quite a while, and it is an important conduit for aid into Gaza. The UN says they have some 6,000 trucks worth of aid, medicine, and shelter materials ready to enter Gaza. They've also said that some 500,000 people in Gaza need medical treatment for the conditions of famine that they are suffering. And the United Nations also says that they are ready to rehabilitate critically destroyed infrastructure like sewage treatment plants, water lines, as well as bakeries. Blake Sifton, SABC News, Tel Aviv.